What's up? It's Tony back with another episode of the ItsTony podcast, and I want to begin with saying thank you to all of the subscribers. We just hit 36 subscribers since the last video. The last video we hit 30, and it's like a day and some change after, and we hit 36. I appreciate all of the new subscribers. I appreciate all of the subscribers, to be honest, because everybody is new. This is just a new page, and I appreciate everybody that's supporting me. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you for watching. And today I'm gonna begin with saying, if you've been watching the last couple of pods, I've been talking about politics here and there, but not really like deep into politics. Just like the surface level of politics, like the marketing and the cringy and corny things that's going on in politics. If you've been watching, like I said, you will see that your boy was right. The only thing that I don't want to happen out of this is I do not want Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party to try to get her on Kai's stream. One, I feel like it's copying and it's corny. Two, I'm not the only one that think it.
Whoever on Vice President Kamala Harris' team hit Kai Cenat to do a live stream, they need to be fired. You saw social media start saying the vice president needs to go on Kai Cenat, and you ran to go make that happen. Not even stopping to think, is this organic? It still has to make sense. Let it be something organic. There's a lot of places the VP can go to get in front of a younger audience. If the vice president was to run to Kai now, she would just look like she's copying Trump. I love Kai, but sending the VP to Kai just because Trump went to Aiden Ross, that's corny.
If you've been watching the pods, you see that I've been saying what I've been saying about Kamala Harris. And in the most recent pod, I said that one thing that I do not want to see after the Aiden Ross and Donald Trump stream, I do not want to see Kamala Harris try and go on Kai Cenat's stream. And literally maybe a day after I posted that, Kai comes out on his stream and says that the Secret Service and people are calling him to get Kamala on the stream. And then you hear Charlamagne the God saying the same thing that I said the day before. He said, yo, it will be corny. It will be copying if she goes on that stream. The Democratic Party is not original. They're not trying to do anything different. They're just being mad reactionary. Like, oh, we see Trump do something, so let's try to do the equivalent. They're not outthinking him. They're not trying to outsmart him. And the crazy thing is that all of those people, everybody against Trump, say that Trump is dumb. But one thing they can't say he's dumb by, and you can say that based on their action, is he's not dumb at marketing. He knows how to get people to like him. His charisma is what sells him to everybody. And I'm not saying I'm not a Trump fan, and I don't get that deep into the who I would vote for and stuff like that. Vote for whoever you want to vote for. My thing is, that is what get people to vote for him. His charisma. I also said on a pod a few pods before, I said charisma should not be the only thing that gets you to vote for somebody. It's dumb, and it gets black people all the time. If a politician, especially if it's a white politician, if they say a Jay-Z verse, a Nicki Minaj verse, if they say anybody in hip hop or in pop culture, if they shout them out, black people are going to be like, oh my goodness, she's cool. Charisma should not be the only thing that gets you to vote for somebody. And that's what Donald Trump has. And like I said about the Democratic Party, they're trying to like be reactionary to that. Like, oh, he's seen as cool to a whole bunch of people. So we're going to try to do something that's cool to a whole bunch of the youth as well. And Charlamagne the God said it on The Breakfast Club. He said, there's another way. There's many other ways to get the cool card. There's many other ways to get the votes from the younger generation. But being reactionary is just going to come off as corny and copying. And that's what I said. So I'm just starting with that, not to go too deep into politics or anything like that. Like I said, and this is how I stand on it. Vote for whoever you want to vote for. If you agree with them, vote for them. If you believe that they're cool, I don't think that should be the reason why you vote for them. But if that's what you want to do, vote for them. Do what you want to do. But just know, if you're voting for somebody just based off being cool, I think that's just a dumb reason to do it. That's the only thing I would say about that. To close that out, I was right. And I'm saying I was right because, nigga, I think I'm going to be right about a lot of shit. Everybody is seeing the same thing, but everybody is not saying it. We see that Kamala is being fucking cringy. We see that she's being corny. I'm gonna say it. And like I said about the Aiden Ross thing, I bet I'm gonna say something else right soon. Matter of fact, we're gonna speak later about something else I was right on. But not to go deeper into politics, does being dubbed by Kai make Kamala look bad in a sense? Because it looks like she's like essentially she was dubbed by Kai. Like he doesn't want her on the stream. Essentially, for all intents and purposes, Kai's basically like, nah, I don't want to do that. Does it make Kamala Harris look bad because he's not accepting her? I think to a lot of the ignorant people that don't really know nothing about politics or care to go deep into politics, I think Kai dubbing her may look bad for Kamala, but I think the people that care about politics and that really are invested in politics don't care at all. But anyways, speaking on Kai, I want to say that Kai was wrong. Kai was wrong, and I spoke about it before, but I listened to Killer Mike's new album, and it made me go back to his previous album that won the Grammy, and Kai was wrong.
Killer Mike.
Who decided this motherfucker? Who the fuck decided this motherfucker? Her loss? Utopia?
When I tell you that if you listen to Killer Mike's Grammy-winning album, you will see why Travis should never have won that. And it's not even close if you really think about it. One, I think Utopia is Travis' worst album, and I'm a Travis fan. I think that Travis' run from Rodeo to Birds in the Trap, Sing McKnight to Astroworld, that 3-album run is it's up there. People may not, the people that don't like Travis, they not going to like Travis. But the people that actually listen to Travis, those 3 albums back to back to back, that is a run. That is a great run of Travis being Travis, of being a good in his prime Travis. Now, Utopia is garbage. It's far from those 3 albums. And it came off the back of Astroworld. Astroworld is one of Travis' best albums. In my opinion, it might be his best album. Then you get Utopia. I listened to it once, and the only song I know is the song that was forced on me by many people, the Fiend song. And it's a good song once you hear it a whole bunch of time, and I see what it does at concerts, so I understand it. But Utopia is not in the same ballpark. Like, it might be in a different country compared to Killer Mike's Michael. That album that he won a Grammy for, Michael, that's a Grammy winner. It was supposed to win that Grammy. It's a way better album than Utopia. And I'm only using Travis because that's the album that people was trying to basically compare them, saying nobody heard Killer Mike's album. Everybody was listening to Travis' album. And that is why Kai was wrong. He was definitely wrong. And I said that a while ago. But if you listen to Michael, you will see why he should have won that Grammy. The storytelling, the concept, everything, the whole album, it's a work of art. It's not just an album with bangers, or it's not just an album that you just play and you could just listen to in the background. It's an album that you have to actually sit with and dissect. And when you finish that album, you're like, damn, it was basically like him doing an autobiography. And you should get that from him, from the cover being him as a child and the album name being his name. You should be able to tell that it's basically like an autobiography or a biography of his life. But when you really sit down and you listen to that shit, it's not in the same ballpark. It's not. Kai was wrong as hell. And not only Kai is just probably the loudest voice that said something about it, but a bunch of y'all niggas was wrong. Like, that album is way better. And to add on, if he won a Grammy for that album, which is a good ass album, listen to Shed Tears. Listen to Scientists and Engineers with Future and Andre 3000. Listen to Exit 9 with Blast. Listen to Something for the Junkies. Listen to Slumber. All of those songs alone, if he would have just put out those songs alone, that's a Grammy-winning project. Those, I think, 4 songs that I said, those songs alone is a Grammy-winning project. Those 4 songs alone are better than any of the albums that he went against. And if he won a Grammy for Michael, I don't know what they're going to give him for the album that he recently put out, because that, in my opinion, it don't have all the glitz and the glamours of all the features and all the names, the Andre 3000s, the Futures, and the Young Thugs. It don't have all of those big features. But my God. But when I tell you that new album is tough, and I'm going to be real with this review that I'm about to do, this album is fucking tough. It got a long ass name. Michael and the Mighty Midnight Revival, Songs for Sinners and Saints. Long ass fucking title. I don't think that title, if I can say anything about the album, the title is way too fucking long. But it's a good album. Regardless of that, just search up Killer Mike and you're going to see the new album. Give it a listen. Now for my review. When I tell you I had to listen to this album 3 times, 3 times to really get into it. And some people may say, oh, listening to an album that many times, you're kind of forcing yourself to like it. No, you have to listen to the album 3 times, because I would preface the album, or to give somebody like a preview of the album, I would say, don't listen to the album unless you're in the mood to listen to, not even, I wouldn't even say something serious, but unless you're in the mood to listen to that type of rap with intention. Killer Mike is not a rapper that just raps just to make a banger or make something that you would just play while you're doing something else. He makes music for you to sit down and listen and be intentional with what you're listening to. He makes music that is art. He makes music for you to dissect. He makes music for you to visually see while you're listening. It's a storyline. It's concise, but it's also deep. Everything about this album is fire, and why I think it's better than Michael is because it's shorter, but it's still as impactful. And like I said, I'm gonna be real honest with this album. I said that it's an intentional listen. He's an intentional rapper. It's you have to listen to this album and be in the mood to listen to this album. I say all of that because the first listen, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't in the mood to hear Killer Mike, and when sometimes he can come off like he's preaching or like he's too mature, or like his voice sometimes when he's rapping, like you have to be in a mood to listen to what he's saying. And I'm gonna be real with that. The first listen, when you're trying to just hear good music, you're not really trying to sit down and think about what you're listening to. You're probably not gonna like the album until you realize what he's doing with the album. And it's a fire album. Like, when I first listened to it, the first 2 songs, I hated. The first 3 songs, I hated. Until the 4th, and then the rest of the album, I was like, damn, this shit is tough. Because the first 3 songs, it caught me off guard because I wasn't in the mood to listen to it. But the first 3 songs got me in the mood, like, damn, let me really listen to it. You really start to listen to it, and you see this nigga is not a fucking joke. He is different. He is really, really fucking different. This whole album is what I asked for from my artist. I want to hear an album that tells a story. I love a concept album, and that's what he gave you. The concept of the album alone is that it's about duality. It's about, if I would just sum it up with one quote of what he said, money turned saints into sinners. And the things that the saints did for money, it could affect other people, and it affected them. One story that he tells is on the second half of this 10-minute masterpiece called Slummers for Junkies. And on the second half, he talks about this relationship that he has with his aunt, who is a junkie, a person that gets high. And when I tell you, it's fire, because it shows the impact of him trying to get money and the things that he did to get money. And not only him being a person that was a saint that did things for money that may have turned them into a sinner because the ways of them hustling and how it impacted others, but it shows how everybody is impacted by their surroundings and what goes on in the neighborhood. People start as just good kids coming from church, and then they see things that they like cars, the clothes, the money, the women. They see that fast, lavish life and the things that they can't because they don't have money, and they start dabbling into things that turn them into sinners. And that's what the whole album is about. That's what the whole album depicts and shows. And I don't know about y'all, but that is a fire concept to me, and that's something that I can relate to. You don't know how many times growing up in Brooklyn, everybody scammed. Everybody scam. You don't know how many times I just wanted to be like, nigga, let me just buy this piece and flip it and make 100 and flip it. Like, everybody I know growing up wanted to make money. Everybody I know growing up wanted to make fast money. And the people that wanted to make fast money, they end up doing something that could either put them in jail or put them in the grave. And that's just a story that a bunch of people that look like me can relate to. And I think that is fire. He also, on that same 10-minute song, in the beginning half, he talks about his relationship with a woman, and that they spoke about having a kid. She was pregnant, and he was excited about it, and he told a bunch of his friends about it. Then later in the song, he talks about, he told everybody, he told all his mans about it and all his friends about it. Her mother ended up taking her to get an abortion because she wasn't ready for a kid. And to me, that is fire. That is something that everybody can relate to. That is what music is supposed to be to me. In my opinion, music is supposed to be relatable. Music is supposed to be about impacting the listener. Music is not only about, partying, da-da-da-da. And don't get me wrong, he has songs like that. He has songs that's just good music, and he just sprinkles a message into it. Every song is not just a deep 10-minute song. It's just this one 10-minute song that is fire. It just shows what happens in our neighborhood. It shows the stories that many people can relate to. And from my perspective and in my opinion, that is fire. Another 2 songs that I would tell you to listen to, just give it a chance. So give Plumbers for the Junkies, give that a listen. Then give Lord Prepare Me and give Higher Level a listen. They're great songs. And in a lot of these songs, he infuses like this like churchy, gospel-y, like this gospel sound into him. Like, you hear the choir a lot. You hear organs and pianos and everything that you heard if you went to church. And most black people in America, they were influenced by the black church in some way. Even me, when I was younger, I had to go to the church a lot. It made me not want to go to the church now, but when you was going to the church, my favorite part of going to church was listening to the music. That's it. The rest of the part, the sermon part, I was knocked. As a kid, I was snoring in the church. My aunt, my grandmother, wake up, wake up, wake up. At a certain age, you can't go to sleep in the church no more. Once you like 11, you cannot go to sleep in church no more. They're going to wake you up. You're going to be in trouble for going to sleep in the church. Especially because my aunt, she was involved in the church. Like, she was a deaconess and stuff like that. She was like known in the church. She was one of those church-going women. So at a certain point, you couldn't go to sleep in the church no more. You couldn't just come and listen to music, then fall asleep for the rest of the time. But I say all that to say, a whole bunch of people I know, a whole bunch of black and brown kids, you was influenced by the black church in some way. And he infused that in this album. So to me, this is a masterpiece. And if he won a Grammy for Michael, which was a great album, he might win a fucking Pulitzer. A Pulitzer is a Nobel Peace Prize. My nigga Kendrick won it. He might just win another Grammy. Like, I'm just saying, this is a great album. I don't know how he's doing this back to back, because it's basically back to back classics. This is going to be Grammy nominated. And I seen him go on the Joe Budden podcast, and when he was up there doing the interview, he got real black power, political, and it was a good listen. And even on that interview, he speaks on, he wanted to keep his foot on niggas' necks, and that's what he did. This album is one of my favorite albums this year. So far, I got Don Toliver album as one of the best albums that I heard this year. Rhapsody album is tough, tells a great story. Anicia, I don't even know if it came out this year, but Anicia got a banger. Whatever album she just released is fire. Why Lord with Anderson .Paak and No Worries. Fire. That album is fire. So those are my favorite albums of this year so far. Bro, this album might be the best out of all of those. I might have my top 3 albums right now is Killer Mike's album, that long ass title. I'm going to put it right here. The second album I have is Don Toliver album. My third album that I have, and it's a hard one because I really like Anicia album. My third album is Why Lord by Anderson .Paak and No Worries. Bro, Those 3 albums, just give them a listen, bro. Just put those 3 albums on. No, you can't do shuffle. But just listen to those 3 albums, and I'm telling you, bro, I was just right. Believe in me, my nigga. Y'all gotta believe. If you're watching, you gotta believe in me just a little bit. Bro, we see the channel is going up and going up. Y'all gotta believe in me a little bit. Give my music taste just a try one time. If any album I would say to listen to first, listen to depending on your vibe, listen to the Don Toliver album first. Cause that album is a smoker. That album is tough. And then after that, listen to Wild Lord, and that will probably get you in the mood of like some vibe of like, oh, it's slower. It's more of a like, yo, I'm listening to some vibey shit. It's vibey. You go from Don Toliver, which is mad vibey, maybe like a little bit upper tempo. Then you go to Wild Lord with Anderson .Paak. It's a calm, it's chill. It's kind of cool. Then go to Killer Mike. And you really listen, that shit is a fire back to back. That is fire. That is fucking fire. Listen to those 3 albums and just tell me what y'all think. Staying on music, I just want to give this little small review of the DJ Mustard album. The DJ Mustard album is a good album. Do I think that it's a great album? No. I think the 2 songs that I really like from that album is Yak's Prayer, and I have to talk to somebody. I need to talk to somebody about it, or I just need to do a deep dive. But Kodak Black, it's something about Kodak Black, and he's talented. But it's something about Kodak Black that makes people so enamored with him. And I think it's more than just the talent. It might be the story. It might be his sound. But it's something that people really like him because he has a cult-like following. He's a big artist. And I just want to know why. I like his music, it's good, but it's something deeper into it that is the reason why people fuck with him so heavy. The next song is Mines with Future and Ty Dolla $ign. And the Ty Dolla $ign that I heard on Mines is the Ty Dolla $ign that I wanted to hear on Vultures. I wanted to hear him really be Ty Dolla $ign, not be Ty Dolla $ign that is ordered to do certain things by Kanye West. That's what I wanted to hear. That's the Ty Dolla $ign that I wanted to hear on Vultures. But nevertheless, Future smoked his verse. That song is fire. Those are on repeat for me right now. But all in all, that album is a good album. But Mustard album is not a great album. So I'm not here to really debate that point. But it's a good album. It's good music on there. And I think it's good enough music that you could put some songs on your playlist. So I just was saying, believe in me, believe in my music taste. And I just finished saying that I was right about the Kamala Harris thing. And yo, just believe in me, Yo, I'm going to say a whole bunch of shit that comes true and might be right. Another thing that I might be right about is the Lil Wayne theory that I had. I'm not saying that I'm the person that birthed this theory. I just seen a few things happen, and it made me think, is Drake and Lil Wayne beefing? When I posted it, I got some comments that said, oh, yeah, they might be beefing because Drake had sex with Lil Wayne's girl while Lil Wayne was in prison. And I heard that take. Kendrick said it already. But I didn't think that they were currently beefing or that was currently going at it. But now we have another piece of evidence that might show that I am right. And matter of fact, fuck might. I'm right. It's not a theory no more. This is fact-based. Lil Wayne did a verse for Kanye, the biggest Drake hater. Bigger than Kendrick, and Kendrick says it on the song. I hate the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress. He did a song with the biggest Drake hater, Kanye West, and now he is wearing a chain of another Drake hater. Or another person that is a Drake op right now. Drake spoke about this person in Family Matters when he's dissing 30 niggas. He's wearing a XO chain, and XO is The Weeknd, and The Weeknd brand or whatever, or his label. So, am I bugging, or Lil Wayne don't fuck with Drake? The only reason why I think this is important because it shows that during a time where Drake needs the allies and he needs people to look like they fuck with him and back him, you are seeing that the people that were close to him once upon a time don't fuck with him. Another person that was close to him, Future. We seen he made 2 albums basically dissing a nigga. Now you see Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is somebody that helped Drake become Drake. He don't fuck with him. Just say Future, Lil Wayne, and The Weeknd. 3 niggas that don't fuck with that used to fuck with Drake, that don't fuck with Drake right now. It's important, outside of y'all wanting to call it men gossip, it's just important to see, because it makes you wonder, what did Drake do? 1. And 2, it makes you think, this nigga Drake had to do something crazy. If all the people that used to fuck with you, that used to big up, that you used to be involved with business-wise or in some sort of relationship, they don't fuck with you no more, nigga, you might be the bad guy. You might be the bad guy. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And that's all I'm saying on that part. Now to get into the music side of Drake, forget the gossip of it, whatever y'all want to call it, men talking about man, I don't care. Forget that side of it. Now music-wise, and Drake as just an artist. Let me begin by saying this. Drake is a legend. Drake is one of the best artists of all time. He might have one of the best catalogs of just music that you could just listen to all together, and most of his songs are bops, and he's just one of the greatest artists ever. Let's start with that. He is that. He's not falling off. I don't think that can fall off. I think if he falls off, he's just gonna fall into millions. Like, it's no fall off. Like, he's one of the greatest, and whenever he wants to put out a song that is going to be a banger, it's going to be a banger. Let's start with that. But let's talk about the optics musically right now. I spoke about the Camila Cabello song. It was whack. The Sexy Red song, it was cool, but people really listen to that song for Sexy Red singing. They don't listen to the Drake verse like that. I've never heard nobody rap the Drake verse. I've only heard people sing the ooh baby. That's the only part I heard niggas sing. I haven't heard niggas really sing the Drake verse at all. So the Camila Cabello song, the Sexy Red song, and the Wagwan Delilah song, whack. The Grotto song, some people saying they like it. To me, it was whack. Those are 4 songs that came out. None of them are doing Drake numbers right now. None of that means that he's whack. I'm just saying the optics. Look at the optics. 4 songs back to back to back with Drake on it. They're not doing nothing crazy. Now, miraculously, he has a burner account with a link called 100 gigs. And he put that out, and he has 100 gigs of videos, of photos, of potential album covers, of songs, all of that. Just tell me what the optics look like. Does it not look like Drake is going around and he's trying to have something stick? Like, it looks like he don't know what to do right now. Like, he's just trying to make something stick. Like, he's throwing pasta on a wall. Like, he just writing a bunch of ideas down and just saying, fuck it. Nothing is sticking right now. Let me just give y'all 100 gigs of content and something out of this will stick. I'm going to be honest. I have not listened to nothing off of that link. I looked at some of the pictures and I watched a little bit of a video from the link, but I'm not going through all of that. I'm sorry. You can go to somebody else if you want to see that. I'm not doing that. I'm not that invested. I think Drake is Drake. He's a great, but I'm not doing all that. I'm sorry. I'm not that big of a fan to do all that. I'm not that big of a Drake fan to do all that. And I respect Drake. He's one of the greatest. I'm just going to put that in every 5 seconds just so niggas know that I'm not Drake hating. I'm just saying the optics look like Drake is desperate for something to stick. Like, he doesn't know what to do right now. And the reason that even looks crazier is because then you have dick riders, and I don't like to call men dick riders, but it's the only thing you could call it. I don't give a fuck. I'm saying what it looks like. And then you have the little yachties, the dick riders, the Drake dick riders saying that Drake isn't fazed by anything. But you see, it looks like he's scrambling for something to stick. Like, he's clearly putting music out. He's clearly putting features out, but nothing is sticking. Then he put 100 gigs of content out, and you telling me he's not, it don't look like he's scrambling. It don't look like he's fazed by this. You think that Drake was going to, he just wanted to put this out? And why would he put this out anyway, just loosey-goosey? If anything, wouldn't he just do a documentary of putting everything together? Wouldn't that be more impactful than just putting 100 gigs of loose content out? Even if any of that loose content is gold, wouldn't it be more impactful by just doing a documentary? Wouldn't it be more impactful by just using all of that stuff that you put out just loosey-goosey, by just putting that and infusing that into a documentary? That's all I'm saying. It looks like he's scrambling. And I just want to know what y'all, what does the 100 gigs of content look like to y'all? Tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, if I come off like a Drake hater, then so be it. But Drake is one of the greatest artists ever, and I love his catalog. And my favorite album by him is either Take Care or Nothing Was the Same. I like Nothing Was the Same better because the intro, and it's just a great fucking intro. Tuscan Leather is one of it, to me, is a better intro than Mills' Dreams and Nightmares. But I fuck with Drake, so I'm not just saying this to say he's whack or he's not a legend anymore. I'm just saying to say, yo, that we watch and that we're entertained by, they make moves, they do things. And as a fan of these people that I am entertained by, I am allowed to look at that and be like, why are you doing that? Like, why? Like, what is the reason? What does... In your words, tell me what the reason for him doing all of that, by letting all of that content loose for free for just his fans. Why? What is the reason? Please tell me. To me, it looks like he's trying to make something stick. Like, it's a heat check. Like, he's just trying to see, oh, will fans fuck with this or will they not? Because why are you just letting music out? Then, not only did he do those 4 songs that I said, the Sexy Red song, the Camila Cabello song, the Wagwan Delilah song, the Grotto song, he also let Yachty put out the Goodness Gracious song. So why is he just letting all this shit out for? Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. He's doing this shit for a reason. Tell me what your reason is. I'll go into something else next. The next thing I want to speak about is Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill is another great, so don't make me look like a Lauryn Hill hater. I love Lauryn Hill. She has a classic album. One of the best hip-hop albums that ever came out. Some people argue that it's an R&B album. I'm not here for it. It's whatever album it wants to be. It's a classic album. But can we just say that Lauryn Hill has been allowed to do a lot of things off of one classic album? Like, come on. And I know she had stuff that she did with the Fugees, so I'm not trying to disrespect her career, but I'm just saying off of that one album, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, she has been allowed to do a lot of whack shit as well. Like, one, I heard that she always late to shit, and recently in news, her concert that just was about to start, she canceled it. She didn't give no reason. All the people that signed up for the concert and that bought tickets, all they got is an email saying, yo, your ticket will be refunded. Besides that, Lauryn Hill ain't saying nothing about it. And I'm just saying, that's fucked up. People wanted to see you. People paid their money. I'm not saying it's fucked up because they got their money, took it from them. I'm just saying it's fucked up because people were looking forward to see you, and then you cancel. And you canceled and didn't even give an explanation. And you also always come late to concerts that you are booked for. That's all I'm saying. Off of one album, she's just allowed to do a lot of fucked up shit to her fans that are dedicated to her. That's all I'm saying. That I won't even go even crazier into it. I'm just saying, off of one album, she's allowed to do a lot of shit. Not the same vein, but let's just say there's another person that has one classic album to me, and teases their fans almost every year, saying they put out another album, but never put out another album. You get to do a lot of shit off of one album. That's why I don't understand why niggas want to put out bad debuts or not really put a lot of work into their albums. Put out one classic album and you might live forever off that album. Another great that I want to talk about is Kanye West. So I seen a picture on TikTok and they saying that Kanye West is falling off. And they saying it's based off a review page that says, oh, a bunch of his albums were ranked in the 80s and high, and now they're in the 50s, like his last 3 albums. This album review site reviewed it and graded it in like the 50s or graded it low. And people are saying, oh, is Kanye West falling off? I want to say that, yes, he is falling off. But he's falling off lyrically. He's not trying lyrically. Before, at least, if somebody was writing for him, or if anything like that, or if he was just getting his bars off, he was saying something. Now that nigga don't even try. Like I said, the nigga is on 530 in the new album, and he is mumbling at the end of the song like it's a demo. And then it's like he wants to make a change to his album every other day, because every time I go on Twitter, they saying, oh, the newly updated Vultures 2 album. Like, nigga, you the only nigga that's doing that. All I'm saying is that the nigga is not trying. And I've been saying this for a while. Although Kanye West is a great, and the music, like the beats and stuff like that, none of that is changing. All of that is great. But lyrically, it's getting bad. He's not talking about anything. And I've been saying this for a while, but nobody has paid attention. But now people are starting to see that maybe he's falling off. And I agree, he is falling off. And maybe I need to just raise the bar a little bit and tell him to rap about something, or get writers in the room again and not only do the music shit, give him something to say, or make him say something, whatever ideas or rants that he have, make him say it on songs in a creative way instead of just ranting. I've been saying this. But who am I? I'm Tony with almost 40 subscribers, which I appreciate. I'm nobody yet, but I've been saying this. The next thing I want to speak on is the Olympics. So today I watched the USA women's basketball team play. They played Nigeria and they smoked them. And I didn't think that they were going to lose. But watching them and also watching the men's USA team, it's just like, if we got no competition and we're just going to win the gold, which I think we're going to win, and maybe I'm jinxing it, but oh well. If we have no competition, why not us just let the USA women team and the men's women's team, let's just have them go against each other. At least that will be better comp for both. I believe that the men will win, but that's better comp. I think the only team that could beat the USA women team is the men. And the only team that could give the USA men team a challenge, a real challenge, might be the USA women team. I don't care what nobody's saying. I think, fuck it. Next All-Star, let's just have them two. Let's just have those two teams face each other. It will give the women more light, and it would just be a fun atmosphere. I don't care if they take it serious. All I'm just trying to show y'all is that our women's team is dominant, our men's team is dominant, and nobody could fuck with us. So let's just play each other just for fun. Like, let's just have an exhibition match of the USA women team and the USA men team, because nobody could beat the USA women team at all. Nobody could beat the men team at all. I don't care what y'all say. Nobody could beat them. So let's just let them bump heads. Who you think will win? To close out, I was watching that USA women team game. I was watching it on Peacock, and I just heard about news of some other streaming sites up in their price. And all I want to say is, yo, streaming sites like Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus, Peacock, Netflix, Amazon Prime, all of these streaming platforms, all they doing are just raising their price up and up and up. And in the beginning, people were like, yo, I'm not using cable no more. I'm going to just buy Netflix because it's cheaper. But now you're starting to see that One, the streaming platforms are basically getting just as expensive as the cable service. And two, that if you get all of the streaming services together, the Hulus, the CWs, the Max, the Peacocks, the YouTube, the Amazon Plus, the Peacocks, if you get all of them together, you're basically paying for cable. All of the other subscriptions and pay-per-view, you're just paying for cable all over again. The streaming platforms are becoming the cable service all over. And they're doing it in front of our face. And we're still buying them. Because not only do you have your Hulus, your Netflix, your Peacocks, your Disney Plus, your ESPN Plus. Not only do you have those, then you have Zeus. Or your BT app. Or your Tubi. Like, nigga, these niggas are basically making all of these streaming platforms and becoming a big-ass cable service. All over again. They just tricked us in our fucking faces. And if you add it up, we might be paying more for all of these things than what cable used to be. Because niggas is trying to trick us in our fucking face. But remember who told you that they was tricking y'all. If y'all never had this theory on your own, if y'all wasn't noticing, and I helped y'all notice, just remember who told y'all and remember who was right. Tony, nigga. It was Tony. And you know what else I'll be right about? I'll be right when I tell y'all to like, comment, and subscribe, because this might be the best podcast out right now. It's new, it's fresh. Just like, comment, and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend, and put it on your friend. They might be sleeping right now. But you know what's one of the best feelings in the world? When you get in tune with something before everybody you know get in tune with it. And then you put them on and you be like, damn, I dead put this nigga on. Now this nigga watching, or he listening to this song, or he fucking with this shit now because I put them on. That's what you could be. If you put your mans on to me. If you put your friends on to me. If you put your family on to me. Thank you for watching. It's Tony, and this is the It's Tony podcast. Come back, tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a family member, to tell a friend at church, to tell a girl, to tell the world. Get in tune with Tony. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.